Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cozy Archives, where you and me sit down and read a little bit of fanfic together. Today, we are going to be doing a Gojo x Geto one from AO3. I usually read them from AO3, so I don't know why I said that. But anyways, we usually do Bakudeku here on this channel, but I've also done Megami and Yuji, and a lot of people have been liking the Gojo x Geto ones that I did before, so I figured I might do one again. It's been a little bit of a while, and I like reading different types of ones, so let's just go ahead and get right into the one I picked today. It's called Infinity by Doozy/Writes with a Z. And then it says in parentheses by it, Hallow Wish. So whichever one you want to go with, I guess. This one is not that long at all, but it is a little bit of one where I think it talks about like Geto having like a little bit of like a crush on Gojo or vice versa or whatnot. So it's a little, there's hidden inventory arc spoilers just in case, a little warning for you guys. I'm sure most of you have already, if you've clicked on this, watched everything that's out there. I know I binged the last season that was put out recently. But yes, this one's not that long, so it's going to be a little short one today, but I am actually excited. I'll read the summary for you guys. As I always say in the beginning of these episodes, go ahead and check me out on Spotify if it's more of a listening platform for you that you want. If it's not, then I'm here on YouTube also. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm on YouTube. Hey! So you can go watch me on there. Otherwise, I always leave the link in my descriptions in the bottom of my videos or episodes on Spotify and YouTube. We read these together. If you genuinely like it, go give the author a hit by clicking on the link and also give them a kudos. If you like it, definitely. I very much encourage that. I don't want to take any of the credit away from these authors who go and do this. And I want them to know that we've been there and we've read it and we're leaving a kudos because we like it. So the summary today for Infinity is going to be between him and Suguru, there's a gap. Not a physical one, of course, but a gap. Satoru knows it's there, can feel it every time they so much as glance at each other. It's like a gaping, endless maw, right between Satoru and where he wants to be. There is a gap between them, a wide one, and Satoru longs to bridge it more than he's ever longed for anything else, or anyone, I guess. The author's notes, hello everyone, ... A very rare Satosugu only fic from me. Enjoy. Not much to say, but, they left their little note there. We're going to roll right into it because I don't have a lot of time today, but I did want to get one out for you guys this weekend, so. Between him and Suguru, there is a gap. Not a physical one, of course, but a gap. Satoru knows it's there. Can feel it every time they so much as glance at each other. It's like a gaping, endless maw right between Satoru and where he wants to be. Suguru, that's where he wants to be, right up next to him, as close as possible. They're best friends, so it's only natural. But something is keeping him where he is, feet rooted to the ground, hundreds of miles away, exactly where he doesn't want to, loathes, even to be. Oh, loathes even to be. So he doesn't want to be there, guys. There's a gap between them, a wide one, and Satoru longs to bridge it more than he's ever longed for anything else. So that was kind of just the summary, but longer. And I'm guessing it's in Satoru's point of view. So yeah, we're in Gojo's point of view. As usual with these, I guess. The gap between them is like infinity. Satoru figures. It is a humid, lazy afternoon. Suguru is sitting next to Shoko in his room. Futility trying to guide her through a chemistry worksheet. Shoko's not bad at math, she just hates chemistry. Says it's stupid. Satoru, notably a lover of science, wisely decides to keep his mouth shut and not tell an irritated Shoko about how cool the thing she hates is. Satoru sits on his rug next to them, paying more attention to their back and forth than he is his own homework. Shoko's being stubborn about this. It's about to make Suguru pop a blood vessel. It's kind of funny. They are not touching, none of them are. Suguru and Shoko almost do, their hands nearly brushing as he points to the faults in her equation, but they never actually do. But Satoru wants to touch. He wants to reach out so badly it burns. Something keeps him back from reaching out. Something keeps him away from Suguru. Instead of taking this as a warning, it may have been, he takes this as a challenge, and well, it's a good thing Satoru knows how to make the infinite his. Okay, this is actually like, I like the writing. It's kind of like poetic, if you will. That's not just me trying to be extra. It actually does seem like that's what they're giving to me here. So, or to us here. For a fleeting amount of time, Satoru thinks he's beginning to bridge the infinite space between them. Of course he is. He's the six eyes. There's nothing he can't do. Infinity is his element and his alone. It was only a matter of time before he overcame this hurdle. Doing so came as naturally as, maybe even more so, breathing to him. Their second year is both a blur and the most wonderful time of his life. It's when Satoru and Suguru both find themselves anew, when they truly and reach out to close that void. I don't know what they were trying to say there, but that wasn't just me reading it wrong. It starts with shoulder checks and sitting closer than needed on movie nights and at restaurants and in the car. Rawr. And then it's sleepover, sometimes all three of them, but mostly without Shoko. And then it's sharing beds and waking up groggy, running late to class together. Satoru getting distracted by how peaceful Suguru's sleepy face is, and making them both miss their alarms. And then it's all of that, and handholds at dusk that turns into handholds in the morning and whenever they feel they need to, which is often. It's perfect. It's everything he's ever wanted. It's still not enough. Throughout all of this, Shoko watches them dance around each other with poorly hidden amusement, a cigarette between her lips. She never says anything of it, but Satoru sees the amused twinkle in her eyes. And later on, when the innocent jabs turn to barely disguised flirting, the annoyed one as she wills them to just get this over with already. I love it when they like pop Shoko in there for her point of view. He never reaches out towards her. Their second year is a blur, everything he's dreamed of, everything he's ever wanted and more. Simultaneously, it's not enough. The gap is still there. And then it is. They sit close and I'm trying to read this. It's very, like I said, poetic. And then it is. They sit close on one evening, and finally, Satoru breaches the infinite space he was destined to. Their hands brush shy. Satoru's heart beats like a jackhammer in his chest. Their nose bump together, and finally, he bridges that gap. Suguru tastes like youth and spring and blue raspberry candy. Satoru's got a sweet tooth like no other, but this is the sweetest thing he's ever tasted. Okay, we're getting like a very off in the distance POV of what's going on. But I kind of like it. Like I said, it's very poetic. I'm kind of jiving with it, you know. The star of Phasma? Excuse you? Plasma vessel. The star plasma vessel dies. So they kissed, and then the vessel dies. Infinite closes in on itself, then erupts open again. Gojo Satoru comes back from the dead. He is born at new, awakened now the strongest sorcerer alone. Geto Suguru doesn't die, but it's a near thing. He's left alive deliberately, and Shoko heals him in just the nick of time. Though in the end, Satoru supposes none of that really matters. It all comes to an end up just the same. Physically, he lives. He dies in all the ways that matter. There's blinding rays of purple as the sorcerer killer, is what they said, takes his last breath. There's a lot of, like, little spelling errors. Maybe, I don't know, they just didn't look it over again before they posted it. Because I feel like, yeah, that's kind of what happened probably. So I'm trying to read it, guys. Just give me a break. The room is coated in both red and blues when he and Suguru reunite. A girl's limp body held in his arms. Together, they are born again, yet separately all the same. So they go through a tragedy together. This is why it said major spoilers. So now I'm kind of like getting why they said that. The gap starts to widen once more. Satoru pretends not to notice it, sometimes, but he always does. It's hard not to, when they'd been so close before. Their workload increases. The missions get harder. The three of them, Shoko included, start seeing each other less and less. The school year drags on, and summer comes around again. Suguru's lost weight. It's just the heat, he says. Satoru wishes he questioned that sooner. Oh, okay, so we're getting the KFC moment. I feel like that's what it's gonna end with here. Oh my gosh. Not again. How many times do we experience the tragedy? Infinity lays between them again. The village has happened. Shinjuku has happened. It is long over and done with. Oh, okay. So we're going real into it. This time he can't even see Suguru. His old friend is nothing more than a shadow, a specter, an outline of someone who doesn't exist anymore. When he reaches out to grab it, to pull it back, all Satoru clasps is empty air. They graduated from Jujutsu High a few years prior. What was left of them? Satoru is gearing up to become a teacher at the very same school, some futile dream of helping the youth guiding him. Megami and Sumiki are about to start 6th grade. They've been in his care for 4, almost 5 years now, and they're growing up fast. Sooner rather than later, Megami's gonna be almost as tall as him. Sumiki's already pretty big for her age, and even sooner than that, Megami will be joining him at Jujutsu High. This is half the reason he's taking out that teaching position over, I think they meant. They can't Hage just any hack training his star pupil now. I think they meant. They said Hage. I was like, hag? Just any hack training his star pupil now, can they? Shoko, the last remains of his ramshackle class, is 5 months away from graduating medical school. After that, she'll return to Jujutsu High with him as the soul healer. Satoru gets the vibe she isn't very thrilled about this, but it's not like she has much choice. Unlike Satoru, who does, but he chooses not to think about all that. All that matters, really, is that their orbits are colliding, crashing into each other once more. She crashes at his place a lot these days. Whenever he manages to come home, she's there. In his small living room or rummaging about his kitchen, she totally would. Like she's avoiding her dorm like the plague. Satoru's sure there's a reason, but he figures it's not his place to ask. He almost regrets giving her the spare key. Sometimes, she's sound asleep when he comes in, dead to the world, usually on the couch, curled up in a ball like a cat. After 3 months of Satoru tells her to just use his bed. She's here more than him, and the couch can't be good for her back. And Shoko makes some joke about him being a perv, inviting a girl to sleep in his bed, But the next time he comes home, she's taken him up on the invitation. Mission success. Not that Satoru thought it would fail. He did a little bit. They haven't been so close since high school. It's how, in a roundabout way, they start sharing a bed again. But they're also not really sharing it. They don't cuddle or anything like that. They simply exist in the same mattress for a few hours. Whenever Satoru has enough time to actually sleep at his own place and not the school. They practically live together at least until Shoko's graduated, but he doesn't touch him. She doesn't touch him. He doesn't touch her either. Infinity stays up as it always does, blanketing him away from the world. He doesn't touch much of anything anymore. What he has failed to notice is that she never reaches out to touch him back. She hasn't for a while now. What he failed to notice was the space between them, the hand she held out. What he failed to notice was what was right in front of him all along. So what, I don't know, this said Gojo Geto, but like, what does that mean? Like, the hand she held out for him all along kind of makes me think that they're like, oh, maybe it's just like a friend leaning on a friend, but like Gojo's so shut off to the world, I guess they mean. Maybe that's kind of what it meant. Geto Suguru dies, for real this time. Bruh, I thought we were actually getting this cute little crushy thing, and it's not going like that. It's kind of like a journal entry of Gojo's, which is very interesting. It's very poetic. I know I keep using that word, but that's about the only thing that I'm getting from this. It's very, like, beautifully written in this POV and everything. But I really wanted some of that spice, some of that angst, of Gojo Geto angst, you know? But anyways, we're getting this. Geto Suguru dies, for real this time. It's Satoru's fault, because it is always going to be. This, he thinks, was written into the law of the universe, as sure as the six eyes connection to the star plasma vessel is. Gojo Satoru is going to kill his best friend. There's no changing this. Satoru tells him one final thing. A last chance to reach outwards to him, and then it's over. It's done. He's gone. It's got really heavy. He really is the strongest now. He really is all alone. Satoru leaves his body where it lies. Big mistake. If you know, you know. In some back alley of Jujutsu High, because he cannot bear to deal with it himself, and he cannot let Shoko shoulder that burden either. Plus, he has kids to check on. He's pretty sure Suguru didn't kill them, but he's still gonna be really mad if he finds Yuta bleeding out. As he walks away, Infinity, his oldest friend, fills his senses once again. It is the emptiness it's been in a long time, a long while. When he looks ahead of him, there is no gap before like there was before. Just a void, a cold, empty expanse. Infinity can never be bridged again. Wow, that was so... I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. That was so deep. I was not expecting it to be that. Praying this has gotten me out of my small writing slump. Fingers crossed. Satosugu, save me. What? I'm giving it a kudos because, like I said, it may not have been what I wanted it to be, but it was like a beautiful little entry that I think respected the series a lot and what the POV might have been if Gojo actually was like in love with Geto. And I like that. I like that for us. We got to kind of experience what it would have been from the POV. However, it was still super sad. Like, sad because he still died. Like, that's not what I thought, you know? I was like, they're gonna kiki. No. They did for like a hot second. I think all they added in there really was that they kissed, and then that's about it. And then that's all we got, guys. But Oh my gosh. Still go give it a kudos because it was very, like I said, a very beautifully written piece from the POV and everything. And I think it really, like I also said, respected the series a lot and what it would have brought if he did or was involved with Geto in a romantic way. Anyways, I promise you guys, I will bring you guys a nice, crushy little one. I really was scrambling to find one, and I'm not gonna lie, I did find one that said it was a Gojo Geto fic, and it was a Gojo X Geto X Yuji Itadori one. I was horrified when I read through it, and I got like halfway through before I was like, why is Gojo treating Yuji like a significant other in the kitchen? Like, what is going on here? And he's like, don't call me teacher, Yuji. And I'm like, whoa, no, 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 no. That's not what we signed up for on the Cozy Archives. That is a little much for me. If that's your yum, I'm not gonna yuck it, but as long as they're like mature and everything in the ship. But no, no, stay away. I personally don't want to read that. I just feel like that's not the vibe that I want to bring here, obviously. And even more so since I think maybe, I don't know if I can go back and like, I'm not going to even bother. But I think maybe he was mature in it, like Yuji was over. But still, bro was like teaching him when he was a child. So I'm not really for that ship. Um, that much. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, anyways, I started reading that, got halfway through and I was like, "No, we're not doing that today." And then I kind of like scrambled to find cuz that was the one I planned to read to you guys. I scrambled to find and what I got was this one. So, it's a really actually new one now that I'm looking at it. It was made on the 7th of July, so it's fresh off the archives, guys. But, I just feel like I really do I'm craving like a college slash high school AU of Gojo Geto, and that's kind of what I've been trying to look for. If you have it, if you have one particularly you really like, I don't read like smuts or anything, so don't come here with that, but leave it in the description or I'm sorry, the comments below, and I will read it because I am genuinely like I really do want to like find more crushy type ones that have more dialogue and everything. And it just doesn't seem like I'm getting that lately that much. I don't know what it is. It's retrograde, I guess. But yeah, so if you like my vibe, if you have not subscribed or followed yet on Spotify or YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be doing a lot more. I don't know why I said it like that. Hit the subscribe button. Um, we're going to be doing a lot more of these kind of ships. We're going to be doing Bakudeku mainly, Megami Yuji, Gojo Geto. Those are just like really popular ones. I figure that I'm also into. If you have any lesser known ones, candid ones, anything like that that you want to comment down below, please go ahead and do so. If they're in my genre or I have watched the anime or whatnot, even if I haven't, maybe I'll be interested in watching it after you comment something. But I will definitely read them for you. I will read them for you, and I always like a good BL, a good yaoi, but or yuri, I do like that too. But even like, regular ships, I did Ochako and Bakugo, and I felt like I dishonored the Bakudeku by doing it fan club by doing it, but it was interesting. I do think that their things went together, but you guys might be just Jujutsu Kaisen fans, which is good too. Obviously, I read them too, so hang out with me again, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell and get notified for when I post. And leave a comment of how you like this. Like I said earlier, go ahead and give it a kudos yourself because the authors really appreciate that, obviously. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.